Hello, my name is Kathy. My website is called Kathy's Corner, and this is my first official floss tube. So floss tube number 1. I've done other floss tube-ish things, but my channel has gardening things, quilting things, and now a little floss tube. So I hope you enjoy it. If you're not interested in cross stitch, then go look at some of my other videos. I'm in my 60s, and I just hope to have some videos that help people who are my age to get out and go try some things and do some new things and such. So a year ago, I started cross stitching. I was influenced by some, I think Fat Quarter Shop was the first one I watched, and Lori Holt. And Lori Holt had this cross stitch called She Believed She Could, So She Did. And this was my first cross stitch. I'm sorry, it's backwards. I don't know how to, I'll figure out how to turn it around. But this was really kind of a too big of a thing to pick for my first one, but I'm proud of it. There's some mistakes, but there are mistakes with everything we do, right? So what I did was I put this on some foam board right here, and I put this fabric that I had on it. And then I put this on foam board as well. I haven't finished the back totally. I hadn't got around to it. So on the very, very back, it's just one of these little hookies because it's very light and it hangs in my sewing room. And I dust it off every once in a while. So that was my first cross stitch. My second cross stitch was, I was making a quilt, a Bonnie and Camille quilt. And I bought their book, Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee. And they had a cross stitch in the back of the book that matched the quilt. So I made the quilt, and then I made this cross stitch that went with it. This was a very easy cross stitch to do, even though it's big. Each little motif, I just did one at a time. Each little motif, I did one at a time. I did change some colors in it. I hear you can do that in floss tube world. For instance, I think I changed this. I think it was originally supposed to be an orangish color. I changed a few things in there because I used what I had. So this is my second one, and I just bought a frame. The frame I got at Dollar General, and it had these ropes that had little pictures hanging on them. Just took the ropes off, painted this part black. I had this, a big roll of this ribbon that I bought at a thrift store. And then I put some old spools in the bottom, glued them in, and there you go. It says Memories. So this hangs in the room with the quilt. So those are my first two cross stitches, and then I got hooked. I went crazy, y'all. I went a little crazy. So here's a finish that was just last month. This is Tiny Modernist. It's called Mouse's Love Letter, and here's the little thing. I got it online, and it says "Love You." Look at that little mouse. Look at her. Look at her. Now I have a lot of mice in my cross stitching because my last name is Ratliff, and so my last name has a rat in it. So what I do is I embrace my last name, and instead of rat, I have mice everywhere. Like, there's a few right over here behind me. For instance, there's a little pair. There's a little dude. Look at him. There's a bunch. There's a bunch right behind me. So I made this little pillow. This is from the Bonnie and Camille quilt that I made, and then I just had some of this these Moda solids, so I made this little pillow, and it turned out pretty good. I have found that I change colors all the time. So if you want to know the conversion, or not the conversion, but the different colors that I use in this, just, you know, just ask me below and I'll let you know. I know it's going to drive you crazy that I don't have a mirror image here. Please tell me below how to fix that. So that's Tiny Modernist. I have several of her things. So those are my FFOs. That means fully finished object. I just looked that up this week. And so now here's my finishes that I haven't framed yet or made into a pillow or whatever. This one is called Sur au Jardin. It is French from Tralala. Did you like that? Yeah. I don't know what Sur au Jardin means, but I bet you it means a mouse in the garden. Because here's the pattern. And it's so cool because there's so many things in French. Tra-la-la. What a cute little company that is. Trail du Dessin. That's how it's 101 by 62 stitches. So here she is. Look at her. It's another mouse. And there's strawberries, and these are either cherries or apples. I'm going to call them cherries. Yes, it's a big mouse. Yes, she's the size of a cherry tree. But I'm so excited for her. I think she's springish looking, so I think I might make a little pillow and put her on my couch or in a tier tray thing, something like that. Here's my next finish. It's called Mice in the Sewing Room. You see this mouse pattern, right? I'm not always going to do mice, I promise. Mice in the Sewing Room by Brenda Gervais. She is now my favorite. She has a lot of mice. She's Mice in the Sewing Room by Brenda Gervais. I really like this because it has some specialty stitches. There's a 1/1 in here. I love the bottom part because it looks like I'm in the middle of finishing it, so I've put these two things on there, but I'm not sure. I think I'm going to frame her. But isn't that cute? It says at the top, it says pins, and on the side over here, this says pins, this says needles. This is a 1/1 right there. And then I like this back stitching that just the thread just lands there. And I love this measuring tape. Isn't that the coolest thing? So that was really fun. I don't really keep up with how long these things take. Oh, I want you to look at the spool. Look at the thread. See the thread going over in different directions in the spool. That's really cool, the back stitching. So she's cute. I changed all the colors. It's a thing I do. I really like the tomato and the pins on top of the tomato. So Brenda Gervais, Mice in the Sewing Room. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I think I'm going to frame that. And then I also have Christmas Wishes. This is another one with a mouse on the top. It's called Stitch. It's from Stitches by Ethel. Stitches by Ethel. And this is a fun one. And I think I'm going to rip this apart and redo it. But this one's really fun. There it is. I like the little bird up here. And the little mouse holding the star. And the cat's like, get off my head. So this is Christmas. I think I'm going to cut closer and sew this border closer to the edge. And I'll show you what I'm going to finish some of these with in just a minute. So those are my finished but not framed. And now I'm going to show you my whips. You know there's got to be another one with a mouse, right? Right? Okay, this is Tiny Modernist. And this is called Mouse's Easter Bonnet. So I'm stitching this for Easter. It's the cutest little thing. Oh, my cat just came in. There it is right there. So I'll show you this one. I haven't gotten very far on this one. I've tried to make most of the colors match. If you'll notice, now this is just a, copy from a printer. It was a PDF. So I really don't like the colors in here. I want them a little more muted. So I picked some muted DMC, things like that. Here's my little mouse's tail and the little dress with the skirt. And then I have over in here, I have, let me show you the flower. Oh, these things are really hard to get off of here. There we go. Okay, there we go. So there's the flower. But see, I used a very muted green. And you may want to I know that it is proper for me to tell you what I'm stitching these on. And the sad part of the deal is that all of my DMC and all of my fabrics were given to me by my cousin Teresa. I don't know what they are. I have counted. I know how to count the boxes. That's how you're supposed to be able to tell, but I'm not very good at it. And I've bought some other fabric, and I think this is in the 30s. I think it's either 32, somewhere in there. But you can look at it. Those of you who are cross-stitch queens, maybe you'll be able to tell. But I really don't know what any of the fabrics are that I've shown you so far, except my two first finishes were on Ada. I think it was 14 count Ada, 15 count Ada. Let's see, let me see. It was called for stitch count, 14 count Ada. Those first two finishes that I showed you that are fully finished, those were on 14 count Ada. And then these finishes, I just used fabric that my cousin gave me. So I honestly don't know exactly what they are. I have been buying some things. I'll show you that in my haul in a minute. I've bought some 32 count and other kind of counts. Now, this next one was Booger. And it's not because the pattern wasn't easy, because the pattern was fine. This is my first Stitching with the Housewives finish. And it's August calendar crates. Right there, August calendar crates. I haven't done the little small that comes with it. And this was a booger because I never stitched on this kind of fabric before. I know it's linen. I don't know what count it is, but it's very loose weave. So if you look at that, see that? It's some kind of linen and it's loose weave. Now I'm going to show you this. And I know my cross-stitch friends will not judge me. But I messed up on this quite a lot. And so what I decided to do was leave my boo-boos. No one will know that comes into my house, okay? No one's going to know. Y'all will know. All of y'all that do Stitching with the Housewives will know. So I'm really, really sorry, Priscilla and Chelsea. But I'm going to show it to you from afar. And then I'm going to show you my happy accident. So here it is. It says sunflower, fancy sunflower seeds, 25 cents at the bottom. So what had happened was, oh, Priscilla, I'm so sorry. I started doing the sunflowers. Okay, first of all, this is not on black. Almost all of their, well, all of their calendar crates, I think, are on black. I didn't have any. This, again, is something my cousin gave me. So I stitched this sunflower. So I had to change lots and lots of colors, right? Because it's on a completely different fabric. This is great. I stitched it with some variegated threads in there, and I did what I was supposed to. But then when I got up to this top one, I was just trotting right along, and I did it completely wrong. Those of you that have done it will know what I did wrong. So there it is. Now, look at the roof. Again, Priscilla, I don't know what to tell you except that, you know, I messed up. But here's the roof. It is so wrong, it's not even funny. And after I did it, and then, you know how you get going, you look at the pattern, you get going, I was totally wrong. Everything about it was totally wrong. And then I thought, you know what, I'm not ripping this out. This is the first time I've ever done one of these. It's the first time I've ever worked on some loose fabric like this. I'm just going to leave it alone. No one will know except Stitching with the Housewives. So here it is again. I love it. I'm proud of it. I'm going to hang it on my wall. And the next time I do a calendar crates, I'm going to do it on black in the call for thread because, oh my goodness. So here she is. There she is. So I learned some things about counting stitches in that one. And I know you're not supposed to apologize for your boo-boos. I know. My haul. I love this part of Stitcher's YouTubes. So, I got some free patterns online. One was the Cross Stitch University on Fat Quarter Shop, Flosstube. And this was a free pattern from them. It's called Love. So, I'm going to stitch that at some point. I got this, I think this was a free pattern. Mystery Stitch Along. It's finished now. And it was all the trimmings Mystery Stitch Along with Fat Quarter Shop. I'm going to stitch that probably starting in September. And I'm going to stitch it on white, on cream, probably cream or white. Another one I bought was Candy Corn and Pumpkin by Stitches by Ethel. Ethel has a lot of mice. Isn't that cute? So that's for next October or the autumn. I'm not a Halloween stitcher. I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't judge those that do. I just don't celebrate it. And so that's going to be in October. Let's see, do I have another October one? No, I don't. And this one's called When Santa's Away. This is by With a Needle and Thread. Guess who will play? The mice. So there's another one with mice. I can't wait. And this right here is done with some is not done with stitching. This is done with some feltish kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I can't show you this one, but it's called Christmas Tale Conte de Noël. And it is a cross stitch chart. It was free. And it's 2 reindeer and a Christmas tree in the middle, but I can't show it to you because I don't have a picture other than the chart. So I don't want to show that to you. That's a no-no. Then I have a Tiny Modernist one for next Christmas. This is called Mouse's Christmas Decorating. I can tell you right now by looking at it, I won't use the called for colors, except maybe in her dress. But I don't like Kelly Green, and so I'll probably change the colors in this. But isn't that cute? So that's for next Christmas. And then I have the Calico Confectionery Valentine Be Mine. I loved this. This is 123 by 85. Called for a 16 count white chocolate Aida. I'm not a fan of Aida after stitching on it. I like it because you can see the holes. But I'm liking linen. I don't know why, because it's harder to stitch on, in my opinion. But anyway, this is called Valentine Be Mine by the Calico Confectionery. Here, you can kind of see through it. I don't want you to. Valentine Be Mine. Isn't that cute? I love those birds. And I'm certain I will probably, I've been introduced to Weeks Dye Works, and there's another one. Y'all know who it is. But different threads that have variegation in them. I didn't even know they existed till I watched some floss tubes. And I'm certain I'm going to do those birds in some kind of variegated blackish gray, because that'll be really pretty. Or maybe I'll make them red birds. No, they're crows. They were meant to be crows. And I like this border. I like that border. I may use that border on something else. And you know, because you can do that in Cross Stitch World. Another Tiny Modernist. She likes mice. Tiny Modernist. Mouse's 4th of July Ride. So there he is. Or she is. Mouse's 4th of July Ride. Sorry, I think you can sort of, there we go. There we go. I like this. But again, I'll make the greens muted. I think the house looks to be blue-grayish. I know it's supposed to be red, white, and blue, but what I will probably do with this house is make it more of a navy blue. And here's the small that came with Stitching with the Housewives, the one I showed you earlier. Fairy Tale Pumpkin Seeds. I can't wait to do that. That'll be cute. I think I can handle that and not mess up very much. And then here's another one. It's called Mary Mouse. I know. I know. I have a problem. This is Mary Mouse by Brenda Gervais, of course. Look at that. Is that cute? That is so cute. So I'm thinking about all these mice. I'm not going to make ornaments, but I think I'm going to make a lot of little pillows. And at Christmas time, they'll just be on the couch that's next to the Christmas tree, and that'll be really pretty. And then I have one more pattern in my haul. You have to understand, I have no patterns, so, you know, my first haul is going to be big. This is a 2022 Collector's Heart by Heart and Hand. I've looked at all their Collector's Heart. I like to buy them all. I think they've had one. I think it's when they celebrate their anniversary, and they have a bunch of these. But I really love these. It says "Make Life Beautiful for Others," and it comes with fabric and with these tiny, 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 tiny little buttons. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And it comes with fabric, which is 32 count Heartland linen by Picture This Plus. So if this is 32 count, then that other count I showed you, if this is 32, then that other count is way bigger. So it must be in the like 26 count maybe that I showed you earlier that I wasn't sure what count it was. So again, this is Make Life Beautiful for Others, Heart and Hand, Collector's Heart. It's just so pretty. I want all of them. And I just found out there's a de-stashing place you can go online and buy people's like charts that they've never used. This is like a whole new world for me because I love quilting. I quilt. I've made lots of quilts, but this is like brand new for me. And so then I decided to, even though I have lots of fabric from my cousin, I decided to buy some fabric and just check out what it is and how to use it. So this fabric, I didn't bring my glasses. This fabric, okay. What I'm going to do right now is show you a pair of glasses that I use. I bought them just recently. This is them. They're magnifying glasses, and look, they have a light. Isn't that crazy? They have a light. You plug them in and charge them. I'll leave a link below. There's the little charging station right there. So I can see everything with these. So I'm going to look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to read this. This is 32 count Gingerbread Lugana, 8 by 12 piece. So that's pretty. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I bought it. I think that's what all of us do, right? And then I also have Picture This Plus Relic, 28 count. It's Picture This Plus. All of our base fabric is Weigart. I'm just now learning all this. I like this fabric better. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I like this fabric better than the other linen that I use because it's a little stiffer. And I know that when you work with these things, they get, you know, softer. But the fabric that I did my stitching with the Housewives piece on was so loose. It was very difficult. And I like the little bit of stiffness with this. So this is, I got to put these glasses on again. Look at them, don't look funny. Ah! Okay, Picture This Plus Relic. Really like that. I don't know, it reads a little more yellow than it is. So that's that one. That one. And then I bought this Stormy Gray 28 count. I think it's from Picture This Plus, but on the other packages there was a Picture This Plus card, and there's not one on this one. It just says Stormy Gray linen 28 count. I really like this. Look at that. It's got a bluish tint. It's It is, it's not even weave, right? So linen, and they have these little things, slubs. Y'all help me. I'm new at this, but I like that. So I can't wait to stitch something. Tebow, get off my cross stitch. Oh my goodness, my dog is standing on my finished cross stitch. Tebow, I love you, honey. Oh my gosh, y'all will not believe this. I have all my stuff on the floor, okay? And here's my dog lying on all my stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then my light. This only happens on your first film, right? Woo! There. I'm going to deal with my dog in a minute. I love him. He's laying on all my cross stitch. If you have cats and dogs, don't you just love them? He just wants to be close to me. I haven't paid attention to him for 26 minutes and 54 seconds. So that's the pretty grayish bluish one. And then I got this, picture this plus Gingerbread 28 count. I love this. And as Stephanie would say on Just Keep Stitching, I'm obsessed. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I can't wait to stitch something giant. I think I'll stitch a sampler. I'm looking for a sampler. I know they're big and they take a long time, but I really do want to do a sampler. So, you know, list your favorite sampler below. I like the Mary Horn, I can't remember. And then there's a Red Deer one that I really like a lot. I'm not sure what I want to be my first sampler, so just indicate below. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe, please. Thank you so much. But tell me below what your first sampler was. That'd be great. Now I want to tell you some things that I use. These are wonderful. I'll link below. I got them on Amazon. They're absolutely wonderful. I can see like I can really see with these, okay? I also, you're going to love this. I also bought this. I am sure you have seen these. These are like jeweler's little things. So they fit on my head like this, okay? And then look, and you can put different lens magnifications, and it has a light right here. So the lens pops out like this. See? And it comes with a case of 4 or 5 of these, and it just pops right in there. And there's a light right here that you can move up and down. I really like this. When I first started, I was using this all the time, and now I've kind of gotten better. However, I've bought some linen that's, 32 count, so I'm probably going to go back to this. These I can see really well with, but this is fantastic. So those I really like. Now, the last thing I want to show you is, well, first, let's look at this. This is a Q-snap. It's a square, it's a thing you put your cross stitch on, like instead of a round hoop, it's square, like this. And it's great, but I just am not, I've tried to use it. It hasn't worked. I prefer stitching in hand. But I'm going to try it again and just see. And probably on a sampler, like I might want to use this on a sampler. But the young lady who does stitching in the light, she stitches big old things, and she stitches in hand. So I don't know, but I have it just in case. And I have a much smaller one than this. Tebow, oh honey, bless you. He's still laying on my fabric. And then I wanted to show you another thing I purchased were these scissors, and I'll link below. These are just cheapy scissors I bought on Amazon, and they have this really pretty metal color, but let me just tell you, they are sharp, 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 sharp. I frogged with these. Frogging is when you rip out stitches. You don't rip. Rip is not the word. It's when you take out stitches. And these are excellent froggers because you can just get in there at the stitch and not cut the fabric. And so yeah, I'll link those below. Super, super sharp. You gotta, I need to make a scissor fob. If you don't know what that is, that's what you keep scissors in. I would like to make a scissor fob because they're so sharp. I'm afraid they're gonna poke through my bags. Now I do have, just so you know, this is one of my bags, project bags that I made. I made it a couple of years ago before I even cross-stitched. And I don't even remember the fabric line. It's been so long ago since I made this, but I keep these little pom-poms on here. Anyway, that's my, one of my project bags I made. I'm kind of proud of that. I've made a bunch of project bags before I even needed project bags. Let me see. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you what I'm going to frame some things on. I bought these at the dollar store. They were literally $1 a piece, I think. I have 3 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put batting on the top, stretch it over to the back, cover it with fabric, glue the fabric on the back, and then put a piece that I've stitched on foam board, cover that foam board with batting and fabric, and then put my stitching on it. So, you know, $1 or $2. So I got 3 of those. I also found this frame at the Goodwill. So I'm thinking about spray painting it white, and then putting a piece on there. And yeah, it's got glass in there, so that'll be nice. I found this frame, which is deep, like, see how it's deep right there? This comes back, so it's about 1 inch deep. And I thought it'd be really cool to put a piece in here, and then maybe put a piece that maybe has some buttons on it, or that has some other kind of things on it that make it thick, because this is pretty thick, and I can put some cute little things in here. So that's that. Remember, you can always paint the frame. And then I got this at Dollar General for $7. And no, I'm not hanging in my kitchen, but I'm going to cover this part with foam board and batting and put a stitching piece on here. So $7. I bought this at Dollar General for, it doesn't say, but probably $6. It's just, you know, I don't know what this stuff is. It's cheap. And same thing, put my piece on a foam board, glue the foam board here, because I already have a backing and everything. So that was like $6. And I love this one. I love this one. I think this was $8. So it's that thick. It has this fabric right there. And then this piece is metal. So I'm going to cover this piece with a foam board and, you know, leave the edges showing and mount one of my pieces there. I did a piece, I don't see it, but I do have another framed mouse Christmas piece that I've shown in another video. I don't recall where I put it. Is it in there? I don't recall where I put it, but it was on the same kind of thing. So, welcome to my channel. It's been fun talking with you. I'm going to now have to get my dog off all my finished cross-stitch pieces. And just have a blessed day. Enjoy yourself. Have fun cross-stitching. Tell your friends about my channel. And also, if you're interested in gardening or you're interested in quilting or drag racing, that is a whole nother story. Drag racing as in cars. Drag racing. My husband races cars, and he's a chaplain for NHRA drag racing. And we have some things like that on my channel too. So all kinds of things. So God bless you. Bye.